Death of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia is a major setback for the conservative legal movement. There are now several questions that loom. How will the court work without him? Who will replace him? How will his death affect Supreme Court rulings this year? Joining us now to break it all down, local attorney and constitutional expert Rod Sullivan. Good morning, Rod. Thank you for being with us. This is a man who was fiery, funny, and polarizing. He was the face of the court's modern conservative turn.
Absolutely, and while the public saw him through the lens of the news media and saw him as an angry conservative, on a one-on-one basis, he was a very funny, very personable, and very well-liked person. Even among members of the court, everybody really got along with Justice Scalia, and he got along with everybody else.
There is a bitter divide this presidential election season over visions for the economy, national security, immigration, and now it's widened to include the ideological composition of the nation's highest court. Does this bitter divide, does this chasm widen even further?
I don't know if it widens even further, but this is a more important issue than any of the other issues that you mentioned. I mean, Supreme Court appointments are for life. And right now, with the death of Justice Scalia, the court is divided with 4 liberals, 3 conservatives, and a swing vote. If there were a 5th liberal on the court, then as long as that majority, solid liberal majority, remained, conservatives would have no success in front of the court at all. And I think that's the reason the Senate will not cave in on this issue. I don't think you will see a new Supreme Court justice appointed before the inauguration of a new president.
So that means we could have to wait 11 months or more. Would that be historic?
Not really. You know, the fact is that nothing in this Constitution requires 9 justices. There's a statute that says there could be a maximum of 9 and a minimum of 6. And there have been many times over the course of the history of the nation when there have been fewer than 9 justices and where there have been justices who have been incapacitated and not participating in the court. You know, the most important decision the Supreme Court ever made, Marbury versus Madison, was made when there were only 6 justices on the United States Supreme Court. So the court can operate well with 8 justices, just as well as it can with 9.
Now let me get back to something you alluded to. This process has the ability to reshape law. The outcome has the potential to reshape American law on abortion, affirmative action, voting rights, energy, campaign finance, and other issues, depending who sits in Justice Scalia's seat.
Well, of course, the Supreme Court only hears those cases that are brought in front of it. And we have no way of knowing next term, the term after that, or for the next 10, 15, 20 years what those issues will be. But the Supreme Court is the preeminent body which shapes our social policy now. It's not Congress. It's not the president. And therefore, this really is a key hot-button issue in determining the future of the nation.
Now, you said you think that this process is going to be drawn out, but President Obama pretty much said when the Senate comes back from recess February 22nd, he's going to go ahead and level his nomination. It could set the stage for a Republican filibuster in the Senate, and that's not something we've seen since, gosh, LBJ's days back in 1968.
Well, that's true, but I mean, even Barack Obama participated in a filibuster when he was in the United States Senate over a Supreme Court appointment of Justice Roberts. So it's really not, it's not unprecedented. It's unprecedented for one to succeed. The last justice who a filibuster succeeded was with Robert Bork. But it's not unusual. It's not, and this is such an important issue that I would expect it to go to the mat.
You had a chance to meet Justice Scalia. In fact, we have a picture that I know you posted on your Facebook page. Personal reflections?
Yeah, I mean, Justice Scalia was a truly nice individual. Despite everything you might have seen in the media, he's very personable, very friendly, and very approachable justice. I mean, of all the justices in the Supreme Court, I've had the chance to speak with him the most on a one-to-one basis. And the funny thing is, we wouldn't normally talk about law. We would talk about fly fishing. We would talk about things other than the law. And he's a very interesting, engaging, and nice individual.
And look, even his biggest legal opponent on the court, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they had something in common, their love of opera. So that doesn't surprise me. Rod Sullivan, thank you very much. Appreciate your perspective.